Hello, my name is Mind in person and stayed for the full show, including intermission. I completed this response fully on my own without using anyone else's words or ideas. My three words to describe the show is realistic, deep, and eye-opening. I chose realistic because many couples go through this, like comparison throughout different and depression with how the relationship is. I chose deep because it went deep into like mental health and how one can struggle with such conflict, and eye-opening because many people go through this, and her fantasy world in person is like people's fantasy in their head, even though it's like not real. The playwright is Alan Eichborn. The genre is tragic comedy, and this because like we talked about in class, it tries to be funny and sad at the same time. They crack jokes about like her husband writing the book, but she's also like depressed, which is like the tragedy. Um, a conflict I wrote is for the protagonist, Suzanne. She's fighting for love and her attention and fulfillment with her life. She's like trying to escape her in-person family, and also she does this with her fantasy family. Language, I thought it was mostly formal, but also conversational. Like all the dialogue flowed pretty natural, even though it was pretty serious topics, and it stayed pretty modern. Like I easily understood it. Language. Also, her speech changed throughout the play. Her language was calm and structured at first, then became fragmented, later in the play. The director is Karis Mueller. The type of stage is a proscenium. With the casting, I thought the overall casting fit all the roles. They did a great job and were very talented. I thought they worked together very well. They all seemed like friends. At the end, they were all hugging and seemed excited. And I thought it was very diverse, but I'm not gonna lie, it was a little confusing with different genders playing different roles. They kind of twisted it a little bit, but it was overall I could follow it. A specific moment on stage was early on in the play, when the doctor visits Suzanne and her husband, and they're discussing their son. They all sat around the table drinking, but there's also tension when they're talking. They're avoiding eye contact, I feel like, and crossing arms. And I thought it was effective because it just showed the awkwardness and how distant they were with each other, and also the immaturity of doing this in front of the doctor is very not comfortable. One actor I chose was Zoe Steinberg playing Suzanne. I thought she really showed the loneliness and frustration of Suzanne. She showed a full range, calm, polite, but also confused and broken. She was very expressive with her body movements, like often slumping, pacing when she was anxious. Her voice softened during the fantasy. That was great. First acting moment I chose was in the first half when Suzanne first starts talking to her imaginary family. I thought it really captured the sudden joy and relief she feels, and she was a brighter tone. She was smiley and seemed overall more happy, and this made me feel happy for her. But also I don't know, what's good is not easy, and what's easy is not good. It's just bad, the fantasy. That's about a controller. And the second acting moment was near the end when she fully breaks down and confuses both worlds. This aspect portrays chaos in her mind, and she portrayed that by like her voice cracking, like she's stumbling, and like she was like super scared. And my reaction was like really heartbreaking. I felt like I was watching someone like truly lose control. One designer, shoot, okay, one designer I chose was Daniel Levy for the lights. Um, shoot, tell us a name. I have to design the lights. Just yeah, the lighting was, I thought it was very well. And two thoughts was the lighting, like from the reality and fantasy. I feel like he was very warm and golden light with her fantasy, and then it was very like dim lighting for her reality. And also the transitions were smooth and symbolic. Like the lighting grew um, harsher and more erratic when her mind became like fractured and the worlds like kind of collided. The first specific lighting choice was when Suzanne saw her fantasy, and it was very warm and yellow and golden feeling and dreamlike. And this is to like represent her happiness and her comfort, as comfort colors. And then second moment was during the climax when both worlds collided, and it was like flashing lights, very dark and crazy. And this showed her like breaking down, and the loss of separation between what's real and imaginary. The artist work overall, I thought all the artists, like actors, directors, and designers, were very well together. It flowed like pretty seamlessly for such like a small like play and like stage. And yeah, I feel like everyone was telling their own story in their own way, and the purpose, the artist wanted the audience to like understand how loneliness and lack of connection can drive someone to escape into this like imaginary fantasy. And I felt empathy for the people who seem fine but are struggling in the inside. And what I learned, yeah, the artist wanted the audience to feel the sympathy and like yeah, how crazy it could get. Um, something else. I learned how powerful live theater can be in showing mental health and human emotions. Seeing the story unfold right in front of me with real voices, lighting, and space made Suzanne's breakdown feel raw and personal. It reminded me how important real connection is, and how theater can make you feel what a character is going through in a way movies and books can't. Thank you.